What's up everyone, it's Chastin J. Miles, and in this video I want to talk to you about Zillow, and more specifically, is Zillow worth the cost that you pay for it? I've tried Zillow, I've tried Realtor.com, and I've been back to Zillow and back to Realtor.com. Right now I'm just chilling out from all of these services for numerous reasons, but I want to talk about if it's truly worth the cost. Now, I'm not going to talk bad about these companies because they do what they do, but I am going to give you a real world perspective on my views with them. Like I've said in previous videos, Zillow, Realtor.com, all these lead source websites, they should just be a supplement to your current lead generation activities. You shouldn't rely on them to make or break your business. They're just that extra source of leads that you can have coming in addition to what you're already doing. And so I'm not gonna waste a lot of time. If you're new here, please go ahead and click subscribe if you like content like this, because I release it all the time. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, before I talk about the actual money part of it, I want to tell you some good things about Zillow. There are a few things that I've truly enjoyed about them and working with them. They have great customer service. When you begin services with Zillow and when you buy into their whole Premier Agent thing, they oftentimes will assign you your own pretty much mentor or customer service person, and they're so responsive through email, through the phone. If you call them and they don't pick up the phone, they'll call you back and you talk to the same person every time, and I really like that. Even if they're on vacation, they have somebody there for you. I really like that because I'm not sitting there talking to random people who don't know me or know the goals of my business. So they have great customer service. Secondly, they have a wide array of tools and resources. So I believe that they truly want you to be successful, and they want you to have what you need to be successful. So they have all kinds of things. They have scripts, they have mentorship, they have different things to help you as an agent. And so that's another good thing about Zillow. My third thing that's really good about Zillow is that they've been around for a while. So a lot of consumers, they know Zillow. I mean, people are using Realtor.com and even like Redfin, and I get screenshots from clients from all different sites, but a majority of them are still going to Zillow, and so it's still a very stable platform when it comes to what the consumers are using. Now, let's talk about, is it expensive? So let's talk about if it's worth the cost. Zillow is a company that needs to make money. They're looking to make money. Their primary demographic is real estate agents. So everything that they do, especially when they're talking to you on those sales calls and when they're marketing to you and all this type of stuff, it is to make money off of you. So keep that in mind. Now, is it worth the cost? That's a yes and no answer, because it can go both ways. I'm gonna tell you what these salespeople tell you when they're talking to you. They will tell you, okay, you can get into this zip code for, let's just say, $500. You're guaranteed to show up on X amount of homes, and you're guaranteed to get X amount of leads. Now, if you just close one or two of those, then that's gonna pay for 6 months of it, or that's gonna pay for a year of it. It makes sense. It makes sense what they say, because truly, if you are spending $500 for 6 months and you close on like a $400,000 home, that's gonna pay for itself, time and time again, actually. And so what they're saying is true. It makes sense. When they're talking to you, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that does make a lot of sense. But here's the catch: it can only be good if those leads actually work with you and they actually close. So here's how the whole thing works. You purchase a certain percentage of a zip code. And so let's just say there is a popular zip code in my area. I'm able to purchase a certain percentage. So 0 to 100. So do I want 2% or do I want 100%? You're able to buy into a certain percentage. Now, what that percentage guarantees you is your profile or your name showing up a certain amount of times. So showing up on a certain amount of houses. So if they say, hey, you're gonna buy in 80% of this zip code, that means your profile is gonna show up 80% of the time whenever someone is looking for a home in that zip code. So if they're looking at a listing, your profile is going to show up 80% of the time. Now the percentage, how that works is the more money you spend, the higher percentage you get. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, well, how do they base that cost? They base the amount of money that they're going to charge you for a percentage based upon the market that you're buying into. So if that market has $1 million homes, or if that market has super expensive homes, you're going to pay a lot more per percentage. And it can get crazy. Like I've been on the phone with them one time where they told me it was going to be $2,000 a month for only 13% of a certain market. Which seems crazy, because if I want to show up, even half the time, just imagine how much I would have been spending. And so what they'll do on these sales calls is they'll say, now there's only such and such amount left, and so if you want it, this is the price, or somebody else is going to scoop it up, which can be true, but can you really justify that cost to what you're buying into? Here's the other catch with that. Not only are you showing up a certain amount of time based on your percentage, but you're showing up against 3 to 4 other agents. So you're not the only one on there. It would be different if I'm buying 13% and I'm gonna be the only agent showing up on 13% of the listings in that area. That's not the case. You, along with a number of other agents, are going to be showing up, because keep in mind, if you only got 13%, there's an agent out there who probably has 50, then there's an agent out there who probably has 20, and so they have to satisfy them too. So they're going to show up alongside you, and what's so interesting is that what shows up, it shows the amount of your recent sales, it shows your reviews, and it, so like how many stars you have, it shows your headshot. Now, the tricky part about Zillow too, especially with the reviews and the sales, is that you have to get that stuff done manually. So like you have to get clients to review you, and you have to go in the system and update your sales. A lot of agents don't do that. Sometimes, including myself. As a matter of fact, I need to go in on my profile and add some more sales in there. I don't even know what number shows up right now, but you have to do it manually, and it's easy to not think about it because you would expect that to happen automatically when it updates in MLS, but that's not the case. And so you're competing, you don't get a lot of market share, and you're not guaranteed to get that lead because there are other agents there. Now, Zillow is really good about, if you complain and say that you're not satisfied or you're not getting leads, then they'll open some up for you if they can see that that's the case. But something that I didn't like was I was sometimes getting the amount of leads that they said that I would get, whether it was like 13 leads a month, I was getting them, but some of them were like, when I tell you they were crap leads, they were literally people, oh, I thought that this was going to go to the listing agent because I know that person and I need to talk to them. Or it would be somebody who, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Or, just totally, people put in the wrong phone number and the wrong email address. Like, when I tell you like crap leads, and that's not Zillow's fault, because that's what the people are putting in there. And so they can't really control if someone's real or not, but they do a really good job of, if you're getting a lot of crap, then they'll open some more up for you. Now, is it expensive or cheap? So that's a big question. Like I said earlier, they base the price on the market there. So if you're in a market where the homes are $100,000, you could spend, you're gonna spend a lot less than you trying to buy into a market where the homes are $1 million plus. They are based strictly on the market area. Expensive versus cheap, that's just relative to the person. So what's expensive to you may not be expensive to me, and what's cheap to me may not be cheap to you, and it just varies from person to person. If you can justify spending that amount for that area, it can work out. What I would recommend that you do is not try to go after the most expensive areas. Do some market research, okay? Do some market research and see where the homes are selling, where a lot of buyers are buying. So you want to find somewhere where there's a healthy amount of listings, and you want to find somewhere where there's a healthy amount of sales, like buyers are actually going there to buy homes. And then you want to find that price point that you're comfortable with. So once you combine all of those together, you should get a pretty good market. I've had great experiences with them using that strategy, and I've had not so great. Real estate is a seasonal business, and so there's been times where Zillow's been really good, and when it's really good, I enjoy it. But when the markets turn, or when it's that season where it starts slowing down but their cost doesn't go down, it's just like I don't want to renew. And that's another thing. Keep in mind, they are going to put you in a contract, and it's going to be 6 months to a year. So you know, when you're thinking about how much you're going to spend monthly, don't just think 1 month and month to month, I just want to try it out type of deal. No, they're going to lock you into a contract. So that's how Zillow works, and that's my whole thoughts on if it's worth it for the cost that you spend on it. I would love to know what your experiences have been with Zillow and any other lead site out there. Go ahead and put that information below in the comments, and throw up a like if you did like this video, and of course, please subscribe.